I'm Antonia Matthew, and today is September the 11th, 2015. My father Anthony is born. My mother Beatrice is born. My grandfathers who own factories are not called up. Noel, who would become my first stepfather, serves as a young cavalry officer in the Near East. Ralph, my father's older brother, traveling on the continent, is interred in a civilian prison camp in Germany. He returns to England and is supported by the family until he can find work. Unable to keep a job and married with 2 sons, Ralph gives his children to his sister Nancy. I am born. My father enlists, even though he's too old to be conscripted and has a family. On the home front, bombings, sirens, air raid shelters, gas masks, ration books, identity cards. My mother and I follow my father to his coastal training camp. We see barbed wire along the cliff tops, scaffolding along the low tide mark, lumps of oil washed up on the beaches. In case of invasion, all road and railway station signs are removed. Travel is confusing, frightening. My father sails for Burma. Before he goes overseas, his father writes, "I have nothing but happy memories of you." We rent our house and move in with the Castles, old family friends. Mrs. Castle quotes Queen Victoria, "Please understand, no one is depressed in this house. We are not interested in the possibility of defeat. It does not exist." The Castles brick up their basement windows, making an air raid shelter for the household. They dig up the rose beds and plant potatoes, and over the back lawn build a chicken house and run. They can't use the greenhouse. Bomb fragments broke all the glass. Petrol is rationed. Carnivals travel the country entertaining people. They close before dusk. Small, frail aerograms come from my father. He writes to me, "Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home." My mother volunteers as an air raid warden. There aren't enough helmets. She wears a saucepan on her head. In the day, she cycles to work at an airplane factory. Mrs. Castle keeps a household of 10 going. Ration books are pooled. American soldiers stop us on the street on our way home from school. They give us peanuts and chewing gum. Mrs. Castle takes them away and slaps our hands. Aunt Nancy joins the Red Cross and drives a truck. She serves tea and buns to the workers. I go with her one day. Ralph has taken back his sons and put them in military school. My father is shot in the neck by an enemy sniper and dies. The telegram arrives one early November morning. I'm woken to find my mother sobbing. My father is buried in the Rangoon War Cemetery. A brown paper parcel with foreign stamps arrives. My mother leaves it open on the hall table. Everything inside is covered with green mold. Victory in Europe. A huge bonfire is lit in the city park and fireworks go off. Crowds gather. The night is safe again. Cinemas open. Street lights are lit. Later, victory over Japan is hardly mentioned. My mother remarries. At age 10, I remember my stepfather, Noel, telling me his war stories of riding at night through vineyards, eating the grapes, finding his way by the stars. We go to the Channel Islands for a holiday. All the fortifications the Germans put up during the occupation are still there. Cousin John is honorably discharged from the Navy because of poor eyesight. His brother Michael becomes mentally disturbed, is medically discharged from the army, and never holds a job again. Ralph resurfaces as a traveling salesman, coming to our door selling wine. He is bent over with a wizened, leathery face. Leaving, he says, "Anthony's daughter," and pinches my cheek. I never see him again. My mother says it's no good. Even your father gave up on Ralph. One night, we visit the memorial arch at my father's old school. It's illuminated. I find his gold-lettered name carved in the wall. Suez Canal crisis. I want to join the army, but I'm still in school. And then it's over. My mother takes a cruise to Malaya to visit friends. She stops at the Rangoon War Cemetery. Coming back, she talks only of social events. After college, feeling the seriousness of a nuclear attack, I joined the Norfolk Civil Defense and learned to drive a truck. We do weekend maneuvers in the East Anglian Fens. My mother marries for a third time. My second stepfather, Bruce, served in the Air Force, but doesn't talk about it. The church office where I work is a center for peace activists. My eldest son wants to enlist, but the chaplain dissuades him. There are nightly gatherings on Dun Meadow at the peace settlement. We plan, light candles, sing. At a pro-war parade, we line the street with our peace signs and our spat on. We march silently in Bloomington, demonstrate in the circle at Indianapolis, write letters, go to senators' offices. I visit my second stepfather in England. On the Sunday, nearest to November the 11th, Remembrance Sunday, we go to church. Bruce is losing his memory, but he knows where his medals are and can still put them on. After the service, the congregation gathers at the War Memorial in the churchyard. The priest reads Lawrence Binyon's poem, For the Fallen. We observe 2 minutes of silence, and an old soldier plays taps on his bugle. I return to the States on November 11th. As I wait in line at Heathrow Airport, a voice comes over the loudspeaker at 11 a.m. Big Ben striking the hour in the background. We will now observe 2 minutes of silence in honor of the war dead. Everyone stands. Silence. Then we move again to our different destinations. "9/11 and everything gets worse. My middle son, a National Guard soldier, serves 2 deployments in Iraq. So as not to embarrass him, I don't demonstrate. Join the Guard's family readiness group. Go to meetings where we pack care parcels for each soldier. My son returns with an injured back and PTSD. 2014, 100 years after the beginning of World War I, 75 years after the beginning of World War II, and the world still at war. Fighting breaking out in many places, open sores from a disease for which we find no cure, treatments creating further sickness. I remember when the first Gulf War broke out, putting on my answering machine, all we are saying is give peace a chance. My mother, calling from England, hears the message. When she reaches me, she's furious. You are betraying your father and all that he stood for. I reply, I am not. I have never forgotten him, and I don't want more broken families. She hangs up on me. But that's what I'm left with. Give peace a chance. To reach those in power, hold out to them the possibility of change that could come if we give peace a chance this anniversary year.